you also made the news a little bit.
Oh, with the video yesterday, yeah.
Yes. So let me bring up this story here. This was,
you know what's funny? Congratulations again for the 300. But how long I was listening to you and Andre before I ever started a channel, and I used to say to family and friends, I said, I would love to be on there one day. They're like, you don't have a YouTube channel. I'm like, okay. And here I am talking to y'all. I mean, it's just, I love it.
Well, we love having you here. And here you did make the news. In fact, you had uncovered that Prime Video may be buying praise for Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Right. They're doing it in two ways, actually.
Yeah.
And
you kind of break it down here.
There'll be a follow-up. Yeah. Well, what happened is Hello Future Me is this huge channel. He's almost has like 1 million subscribers. But he was doing primarily Tolkien content for years. But he also breaks down books and movies. Just a very, very good guy. And he had put a poll out about August 10th, I think. Yeah, August 10th to his subscribers and Twitter followers and said, Amazon contacted me. What do you think if I take money? But what would y'all think of it? Because he doesn't want to come across. It was
specifically about Lord of the Rings, correct?
Correct. Right. Rings of Power. That's what they wanted. They wanted to get a bunch of reviewers to be able to, obviously review it. So then he sent him an email with some questions. He's like, you got to answer these questions. And one of them was, I have to control what I say. I think it's number 2 or number 3. It's like, if I'm to do this, then Amazon has no veto power over what I say in regards to commentary. This will actually make the video more authentic and make my audience more likely to trust my thoughts. Well, right after that, they stopped all communication with him. And he had been explaining this, like, is it exciting? Yeah. Could it be cool? But he never wanted to seem like, hey, I'm being paid off. So as soon as he put those questions to them, they just stopped it. Yep. And the thing is they've done this another way, and I'm working on that. But it's not like a hidden secret. But if you notice, you'll have a lot of Tolkien channels who have been around for quite some time. And right starting about January and February, all of a sudden they start getting Audible sponsorships. Not Amazon, because remember, Amazon bought Audible.
Right.
So they're being all sponsored.
Full disclosure, we've had Audible as a sponsor in the past too.
Right. Yeah. But again, you're not sitting here praising something that they talked about for years, saying that you can't veer from.
No, there's an ethical issue here. Yeah. If they literally reached out to him on behalf of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, asking him to review it and offered him money, that is a first for me, at least, of actually somebody doing it that blatantly. Yeah. Like, there's a such thing as goodie bags, there's access and all that kind of stuff. But I have never in a million years heard and of anybody in our circles, anybody in our, any critic for that matter, and if they've been accused of it, it's a big deal, of actually taking money, because that's payola.
Yeah,
that's fucking payola. If they're actually doing this,
yeah, they will. Yeah, that's what the next video is. Is there actually a lot of people that they've reached out to, and some who didn't turn it down?
Yeah, no, obviously, because here's like the thing. Yeah, Tom. There's none in our circle, but our circle is known for authenticity.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nobody that I know got offered.
Because, like, for instance, people, I know, like advertisers and stuff that would go to someone like that, and they wouldn't go to someone like us. I mean, they look into the different channels. They look into what kind of product or what they want to sell, what kind of identity they want to associate with and everything. And those that would ask for something like that, for like a product endorsement that is supposed to seem genuine, they wouldn't go to us or anyone in our circle, because they know it would backfire. They know that not only would the answer be no, they'd be exposed for
it. I'm just saying in general.
Well, y'all would expose them. If they did that to y'all would expose them.
The last time I remember something like this was the payola scandal. That's what I'm saying. I mean, never in a million years would, I've ever heard of a critic taking money like this outside of just like a fake story, like in a movie, right? Like,
I thought that. What would you consider all the trips and?
That's a thing, is they can get away with it when it's like access and goodie bags and other certain perks.
There's like the thing you can if you're a journalist, that's part of the job, and like this is where it gets like tricky with the whole access thing, because you need access just to be able to relay the official narrative and stuff. But that's where you have the goodie bags and everything like that, and the threat of maybe losing your access. So then suddenly that's like a carrot. In a sense, I like being on the outside, not being the recipient of any of those things.
Can I chime in?
I was going to say just one thing real quick, Paulie, because Amazon's technically been accused of something similar to this in the past, not directly, but through third parties for getting people. They'll pay people to give good reviews to items on their website. So this is not something that's above and beyond Amazon, but I've never seen it for an actual television show, movie. That's what I'm trying to get at. Go ahead, Paulie. Sorry.
No. So back in the day, in my former life, we did a lot of junkets, and we would, who I worked for would get paid to go and travel maybe to a destination for a film's junket. Example, Blue Crush. Okay. Brian Grazer, Ron Howard production.
Yep.
They flew us all out to Hawaii. Put us up, the whole thing. They get this even like the night before we were to see the film and interview. Grazer Grazer for sure. I'm trying to remember. It's a long time ago. Took us all down to downtown, whatever city it was in, to the IMAX, and we saw Apollo 13. Man, they wined and dined us.
They greased the wheels, yeah.
They greased the wheels, and you it's like you almost it puts you in a different state to where it's like, oh yeah, this movie's fine, you know.
Well, you're already having a good time, you're in a good mood.
Totally.
And you don't want to feel like you're being ungrateful for the treatment you've gotten. It's understandable to a point, but again,
right. So I'm used to that back in the day, but we would always give our honest opinions of the reviews. We weren't like, you know, that level. We're a bilingual channel back in the day. But we covered a lot. You know, we covered, the Tarantinos, the big films, all that stuff, our junkets. And some would give you kickbacks. You know, when I say kickbacks, like, like swag. Or in this case, they pay for your trip.
Well, on that note,
speed up. Okay, I was going to say where I'm at right now, but go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was going to say, because Mikey, I think, actually can kind of explain how this is a little different from greasing the wheels is one thing, and you can get away with doing goodie bags and trips because you can write all that shit off. It's a little different when there's an actual exchange of money and there's a contract involved.
All I just want to say right now, because of how I've been more, doing my channel, I even just make sure in my videos, it's like, here's how much I paid for this ticket. I don't need access. I'll pay for stuff. And like, with Rings of Power, me and Chris Gore even said, we got this through Cinemark membership. I pay for my membership. Hey, look, they give us $10. It's a different time now, and people can smell bullshit. So if you're kind of like, I don't know how to explain. I'm just saying, like, it's just a different day, as far as
I brought the problem
with your reviews. Yeah.
The problem is even goodie bags. Think about it, not only ethically in a way, but just as Andre had mentioned about the access, but psychologically, what Paulie just mentioned, the mood that it puts you in. That's why, when I did the first video on the group of Tolkien fans that Amazon flew out to the UK, kept them there for a few days, took them to Oxford, showed them showed them 20 minutes worth of scenes.
They took him to Mallorca.
Also. No, those are the super fans. Those are the
right. Meaning they
had that was the super fans.
To be clear, those super fans, they refer to themselves as the fellowship of influencers, and influencers get paid.
Right, but that's a separate thing I wanted to kind of go into. One, all of Amazon's marketing for this show, forget the show aside for a second, has been destructive. It's almost been self-destructive. when they first put out the Superfan videos, and they're like, these are people who love Tolkien and no Tolkien. They're sitting there going, why was the ring made? Maybe Sauron can become a better person with the love of a good woman or a guy. I mean, and then you have one thing after the other. They saw how bad that was, so then they took some Tolkien fans and flew them out to the UK, had them glad hand with all the producers, the director, and then the showrunners, Payne and McKay. My point is there was a reason a long, long time ago the SEC had put out anything above $25 is considered to be a form of, it's more than a gift. It's how they would evaluate people, because it has a psychological impact. Think about it. You're sitting here, you're with all these people.
That is exactly the point. Let me chime in. As a guy who ran a production office in Santa Monica for a bunch of production houses and post-production houses when I had the office in Santa Monica, what we're getting to is someone willing to change their mind or their opinion? In order to make that happen, it happens one of the following ways. Straight cash paid out, which almost never happens that way because there is a paper trail. Because there's a paper trail. Second way is by ego, awards, accolades, comments. This person's amazing. Oh, have you met Paulie? He's the hottest new Latino on YouTube. The accolades. That's the second way, and that doesn't cost anything, but it's the whisper and the words. The third way is by gifts and trips. We had a gift bag purchase that I fucking flipped out on when I saw the receipts come across my desk for reimbursed expense, where they had the people that had financed a film to go into post-production because it was stuck, because they didn't have the money to finish post, so they needed some bridge financing. Fucking Rolexes were in 8 or 9 different gift bags. I can't remember if it was 8 or 9, but something like that. It wasn't 10, it was less than 10, but it was 8 or 9 fucking Rolexes that the guy put on an Amex card and wanted a refund. Each one was like $3,800. Okay. Now, that was going to be for people that, quote, invested in the movie or financed it or were going to. That was a gift bag, right? So, there's lots of ways to do it. And then the final way is you give someone an award and that plays to their ego, or you give them access to someone that they've never met, a star, and they let them get starstruck. Any of these 4 tools are highly effective at getting someone to compromise their integrity, compromise their opinion, compromise their objectivity.